So deep in the center of Sri Lanka, an island nation in the middle of the Indian Ocean, is this rock fortress behind me there that's described by many people as the 8th wonder of the world. So in this video I'm going to explore this place and let you know if Sigiriya is worth the hype. Okay, so it's 4:45 p.m. right now and I'm on the way to Sigiriya, which is arguably the biggest attraction and one of the coolest places in Sri Lanka for anyone that's been here. But I've been in Sri Lanka for like almost 3 months this time, and this is my 3rd time here. I've almost spent like 6 months in Sri Lanka total, but I've never made it there because I'm usually just like in the south surfing and just having a good time. So this is gonna be my first time going to Sigiriya. I'm gonna try my best to show you this place and tell you the fascinating story of this place. I just dropped off 2 of my good friends at the airport, and one of them I met in Thailand last year in Koh Tao. We're coming from the south from Baligama. Okay, so just got done with my 6-hour journey and came to this hostel that I'm staying at in Sigiriya called the Treehouse Hostel. It is a very interesting concept. It is literally a treehouse, and I can hear like animals and insects outside, and apparently there's like squirrels. Now I'm gonna wake up really early tomorrow morning and try to actually see the place. Okay, so it's 7:30 and I just woke up like 15 minutes ago. The good thing about living in a hostel called the Treehouse is that you get to wake up with a view like this with literal trees in the jungle next to your bed. The bad thing is you might find mice or rats or whatever that was in your bathroom at midnight, but then be traumatized for the rest of the night like me, thinking every sound in the room is being caused by rats. And then like I posted a story about this. One of my friends sent me a message saying that she found a rat giving birth in her backpack in this hostel. I mean, the vibe here is great. The staff here are great. Everything's great. I just can't do rats. Okay.
Do you have enough water?
I have water, yes. Now we're going to the center of Sigiriya. Just got off the tuk-tuk and I just want to provide a little more historical context on where exactly we are. So Sigiriya is near this town or city called Dambulla in the central province of Sri Lanka. This is a rock fortress which is famous not just in Sri Lanka but all around the world. Sigiriya actually is a massive site with great archaeological and historical significance, but at the center of it all is this granite column sticking out 180 meters into the air, 590 feet for Americans. This place is called Lions Rock and that's what I'm going to go to today. Just got my tickets for Lions Rock. So normally it's $35 for foreigners, but it's $20 only for citizens of South Asian countries like me. It's not even 9 a.m. and it's already so hot. I would not want to be here in the middle of the day. We have to go through this path before you get to Lions Rock for it seems like a couple of 100 meters, and these are like the remains of the buildings that used to be around Lions Rock. There's clear evidence that people have lived in the area around Sigiriya since prehistoric times, with evidence showing that humans were inhabiting the place east of Lions Rock here at least 3,000 years ago. And there's also a lot of evidence of Buddhist monks taking like refuge in shelters and caves in the area since 300 BC. Up ahead, I can see the first clear view of Lions Rock, and I know I'm gonna get sweaty climbing this thing. At last, I think I'm at the base of this rock. This is starting to look a bit cooler. Okay, I guess it's gonna be all stairs from here. Nice to be in a bit of a shady area for a change. Okay, so now it's time for the final climb up this rock. I'm almost at the top, not quite there, but the view from up here of the surrounding area is pretty nice. So right before the final climb, you see like the paw of a lion on the wall of the structure. And there actually used to be sculpture of an entire lion, but the face and everything else is eroded over the years. But that's why it used to be called Lions Rock. The way up feels a lot more intense when you're doing it in the sun. So try to come here probably really early in the morning. So we've reached the top and I see Russian Instagram models posing for their Insta husband, an old lady video calling her family and speaking Chinese, and someone travel vlogging. Sums up the travel experience in every tourist attraction in Asia. Okay, so now let's talk about the story of how this fortress got here and how this elaborate archaeological site was created. So when we're talking about the exact history of whatever happened here 1,500 years ago, there are not a lot of independent historical records of what happened. So take whatever I say with a big grain of salt because there are like varying versions of the story of what exactly happened here. So in 477 AD, King Kashyapa I took over this kingdom from his father. Now he was the king's son, but he was not the person who was supposed to inherit the kingdom, so he forcefully took it over. Now the actual rightful heir to the king, Mogallana, was worried about his life, so he fled to India. Now in the 18 years after that, from 477 AD to 495, that's when Kashyapa moved the capital of his kingdom from Anuradhapura, which used to be the old capital, to Sigiriya, because he thought this fortress would be easier to defend, and he was expecting the rightful heir to come back any day. So most of what you see right now in Sigiriya, most of the buildings, most of the fortifications, it was built during those 18 years when this was the capital under Kashyapa. But in 495, the rightful heir Mogallana actually came back and he defeated Kashyapa in a battle. And there's different variations of like how Kashyapa actually died. Some say his soldiers abandoned him in battle and he killed himself with a sword. Some people say this whole thing was like a pleasure palace and he was poisoned by one of his concubines. But it is very hard to know for sure what exactly happened. But the important thing is Mogallana returned, took over the kingdom and moved the capital back to Anuradhapura. And after that, Sigiriya became a Buddhist monastery like it used to be for many years until the 14th century. And after that, we don't see any historical records of this place till the 16th or 17th century when it was like an outpost for the kingdom of Kandy. Fun fact for those of you who know about Hinduism and Ramayana, a lot of Hindus believe this was Ravan's fortress from the Ramayana. The view from the top is really insane, even in this like crazy heat. It's like hard to keep your eyes open. I can see the path behind me, 200 meters below me, that I used to come up to the rock. The mathematics and design that went into like building this whole complex was truly like impressive for its time. The engineering and architecture is remarkable and was quite ahead of its time. And that is why this place is designated a UNESCO heritage site and is like a very important example of architecture from that time. Okay, so I was sleeping for the rest of the day and then we came for sunset to this like little hike, like a 2-minute hike to this place right next to Lions Rock behind me. It's a bit cloudy, but still a pretty sunset. Man, the colors from the sunset just got insane. Nice end to the day. Okay, it looks like the rats in my room ate through the meshing on the outside of my bag. Which is a bummer because this is just a new bag that I got recently and apparently rats here have been eating through people's shorts. So this is something you definitely want to be careful about. Watch out for reviews about rats and mice. So it's 10:07 now and I slept in again for the second day in a row. Today I want to do one more hike in the Sigiriya area, but I want to wait till it's a little bit cooler so I'm not like dying in the heat like I was yesterday. So this place comes with free breakfast as well and today there's hoppers too. I've never had chocolate hoppers before, so I'm gonna try that. I did eat egg hoppers before, which you might remember from another video. It's like a Nutella sandwich, not my favorite kind of hopper. So it's 5 p.m. and I waited the whole day to get past the worst heat of it to do last hike in Sigiriya. And right now I'm going to this point that should be the best viewpoint in all of Sigiriya. So this is also a hike with a lot of stairs, but this looks like more in the jungle, a bit more Indiana Jones vibe. Not like just bare rocks in the sun like the Lions Rock hike was. This is a lot more green. This is getting to the point where I'm climbing more rocks than I'm climbing actual steps on the stairs. First wildlife sighting. This is getting very exhausting and sweaty. I think we're near the end of the hike and I've reached a bit of a spot that has like a huge lying Buddha next to me, like the famous statue in Bangkok almost. And on the other side there's a clearing of the trees where I can see the view. Okay, this part here actually feels like rock climbing, so I have to definitely get out of here before it's too dark. There's a bit of a traffic jam here. That is Lions Rock behind me and this is the viewpoint everyone comes to see. A lot of people taking pictures. There's thunder in the background. Oh, it is raining over there. And this is a pretty sick scene. If you go up a bit more, you find a place that's not as crowded where I'm standing right now. So in my opinion, this is a better view than from Lions Rock itself, from the top of Lions Rock itself. Because, you know, often in life, the best way to see something is not from very close to it, but from a bit far away. Okay, I found a more isolated face of the rock, which is definitely harder to climb down. That's why it's so isolated. And the lighting here just keeps getting prettier and prettier. But I think the sun sets in like 20 minutes, so I need to get down pretty soon before there's a traffic jam with people like on the way up. But this is so insane. I was trying to get a cool thumbnail here. Almost died in the process because this is a steep drop off to death. But man, the lighting behind me right now is really surreal. So to go back to the question that I asked at the start of the video, is this the 8th wonder of the world? I personally have only been to 4 out of all the wonders that get ranked in these 7 wonders lists. And even if I had been to all of them, I would not really know how to rank them. What I can say is that to me, the experience of visiting here was just as awe-inspiring as any of the other spots that I've been to. Okay, so they do have lights that they turn on at night, so it's not that dangerous to go back in the dark. Probably someone got hurt and then they did this. So if you like this video, don't forget to like it. If you want to watch more videos like this, feel free to subscribe to my channel or follow my Facebook page. And if you want real-time travel updates, feel free to follow me on Instagram at Nadir on the Go. Someone else is flying their drone. I'll catch you guys in the next video from God knows where.